All right, let me know. Glad to see you.
Oh, good to see you too.
You haven't been here in like 2 weeks.
I missed one press conference. They take my kid to the dentist.
Cry me a river. You've heard the Harrison Moore story. I mean, he tooth on the ground.
Well, unfortunately, my child had like a similar thing with skateboarding.
Get back in there.
No.
Cameras ready?
Next man up. All right. Finished up our Thursday practice today, getting ready for the Notre Dame game. I've had a good week of practice. I don't think there's ever been a time anyone's ever come up to a podium and said, man, this was a horrible week. We're not prepared. We're not doing anything. But no. I thought it was a very intentional week. Got a lot of things accomplished. Very focused. I thought the focus out today was extremely good. Not stressed, not anxious, but ready for the moment, and excited to be able to have this opportunity on Saturday. I told them Tuesday, I said the opportunity is Saturday, but the challenge is this week, and I think they've answered the challenge to this point. So I'm excited for this team, excited for these guys to be able to go play on Saturday. As every Thursday, student athletes of the week on offense, Eric Singleton, and defense was Zeke Biggers. Scouts of the week offensively on the defensive field, Chris Elko. Defensively, A.J. Cheeks, and special teams, Blake Ragsdale. And captains this week, number 54, Jordan Williams, 32, Sylvain Yunjuan, number 1, Miles Brooks, and number 9, Avery Boyd. So some veterans have been around here a while. Been here a long time, and excited to have those guys lead us out onto the field. And then one other person will walk out with them, but someone that's special to me, special to this program. I think he might be an 8th or 9th year senior at this point, but does a really good job working with us, working on the defensive side of the ball, working with special teams, is Will Schism. Will has been here for the entirety as well. He means so much to this football program, and truly bleeds white and gold. I mean, he's in graduate school right now, does great in school. True testament to him. You talk about somebody that lives and breathes Georgia Tech football and would do anything in the world for the best of this football team. Will Schism. So really excited to have him be one of our captains as well this week. So again, we have a big challenge on Saturday. Really excited. Excited for our guys to go out there and compete. So, have any questions?
Kelly?
I'll bite. Do you have an update on Haynes and the quarterback situation?
Yeah, I do. What would you like to hear about it?
Who's going to start?
We don't even have those meetings until today, Kelly. So, he, as I said, he's day to day. He'll be a game time decision, but it was good to see him back out at practice today. He was back out there, so it was good to see him.
Chad?
So you're doing a radio show at a frat house tonight? You want to tell us about that?
That's all I know. I'll pull up at 5 minutes before, sit down, put headphones on. Andy will MC it and ask me questions, and then I'll be home and get back downstairs to the office and get back to work. So, no, this was something, an idea that came up several weeks ago, and when I first heard the idea, I was like, wow, that's awesome. What a great idea and a great chance to be able to get in front of our students that have been so impactful in football games for us, that have really turned out, that are really buying into our program, because and I want them to know, I mean, we are them and they are us. We're all the same. And when you have that buy-in with everybody, and you're able to really say that we're all in it together. They might not be out on the practice field going through the day-to-day grind, but those people that take the time to put their energy and their excitement into our program, and the time to go to games and be there for the entire time, I can't thank them enough. And really, really excited to get in front of the students tonight. I hope it's a great turnout. We will have some I think trivia questions and some prizes for people. I think Mike has picked out a couple of the prizes, and when we finish up in here, I'll go upstairs and I'll pick out a few prizes of my own to give out tonight. So hope as many people can show up as possible. I don't know what the limit is or the boundaries, but hopefully they shut the streets down and let everybody be there and have a good time tonight. Oh, Rob, you always ask. You're going to get next though, but he didn't raise his hand. He's learning.
Okay, so what, you continuously speak about the crowd and the students. How do you think the new environment will impact the sport? Do you think there'll be more nerves or more excitement because it's at MBS?
No, it's the same football field. It'll be exciting. I think it'll be exciting for the fans. But we got a great home stadium here, and we have an opportunity, this game and I think a couple more years to play in Mercedes-Benz. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was leaving the radio show on Thursday night, and I always drive back through campus. And the Falcons were playing on Thursday night that week. And the amount of students that had their Falcons jerseys on and their Falcons clothes and were walking down Techwood, walking that way, whether to jump on the train or walk down or grab a car. I mean, it looked like half the campus was heading that way. And, that was, the only thing that wasn't great to see about that was that they had to wear red and black to cheer for the Falcons. But, to see that and see the students really excited about that football game and going down there. So I really expect this to be a really live environment, really from stretching all the way from here all the way down to Mercedes-Benz. Talk about a big block party now.
What kind of challenge will this game be for your offensive line? You're facing a Notre Dame defense, I think, has 15 sacks on the year so far.
Do they? Yeah. Every game's a challenge. This is a particularly strong challenge for us. I think we've made some headway the last few weeks and gotten back on track, doing some things that we feel like are important for our success as a football program. A lot of that starts with the guys up front. Being able to protect the quarterback is one of them. Establishing the run game, they're really good against the run. They've got a lot of experience. I think the two inside guys have been playing there for. They talk about super seniors. I think, gosh, these guys have been here as long as I think I've been back in the league. So, and seeing them in the cross games, even though they're not in the ACC, but as many ACC games as Notre Dame plays. So, two linebackers. Really good. They're instinctive linebackers. They're twitchy. They're strong. They do a good job of getting extension, getting off of blocks. The safeties do a good job of run pass reads and getting down and being involved in the run, but also being able to defend the pass. The edge guys, they play good responsibility defense. You don't see a lot of bust mistakes, out there. That's why they're good defense. They're in the position they're supposed to be in, and they play extremely hard.
Thank you. Avon Whitaker, ABC 57 in South Bend. I know you gave us the spiel on the defensive side of the ball. What is it about Notre Dame's offense? A guy like Riley Leonard, it kind of has similar abilities as Haynes with the running ability.
He does. Very similar players. I remember when Riley was coming out, coming out with Fairhope, Alabama. I happened to notice when guys leave the state of Alabama and go play college. I don't necessarily want to be having to go against him this Saturday because he's a good football player. But offensively, they know who they are. They have an identity on offense. They've got some young guys up front that have, in my opinion, really done a good job of maturing as the season has gone along in their playing time. And I look at that as an O-line. I don't look at it by, this guy might have given up a sack or, might have had a penalty here. I look at it how all five of them play together. And, usually when you get five guys that are playing together and then you include the tight ends involved in it, that's a credit to the overall program. It's a credit to the offensive coaches and how they go about, their systematic installation and teaching of what they do and carry it over week to week. Look, Riley's an explosive player. He's as good of a runner as there is. You said very similar to Haynes, and I agree. One might do one thing a little bit different than the other. But both of them, they both can throw the football. And both of them, when they pull the ball down, you got to know where they're at, and you got to have a plan for them.
Can you talk a little bit about your quarterback room? You guys rebuilt it basically in a pretty quick fashion with Buster and Chris in terms of having depth there and having guys you're comfortable playing. Just what has it been that's made that room kind of come together like that where you have confidence if you have to play Zach or Aaron or whoever?
Yeah, well, number one, the guys in that room are made of the right stuff. And I think that's the number one thing when evaluating a quarterback is, are they made of the right stuff? You know, do they have the right character? You know, do they love the game? Right? Are they willing to be able to push through adversity, tough times? You know, maybe they didn't get what they want right away. You know, but be able to not just pick up, take the ball and run. And I think that's what we have. We have tough kids in there, and the toughness in that room really, exudes into the rest of the team. As much as they compete with each other, I think they're each other's biggest supporters. But we knew at the start of this, a year and a half ago, that the first thing we had to do was, fix the offense, and that starts with the quarterback. I mean, it's a quarterback-driven game, and in order to fix the offense, we had to go out and acquire talent and make some adjustments in that room. And over the course of the last 2 classes, we've been able to do that. We got some young guys that are going to be really good players. Not that they're necessarily ready to go out and play 15 games a year right now, but they're going to be good players. And really, when you look in that room, the person that's been there the longest, Brody. He's a coach on the field. I mean, literally a coach on the field. I don't know if there's a better example of, we talked about schism earlier, but another just great example, somebody that loves Georgia Tech football. It's going to do everything in their power to help make sure that we get what we want on Saturdays.
Chad?
We've spoken a lot about your program's underdog mentality. Is that something that's reaffirmed week to week, or do you guys pretty much know that now that that's who Georgia Tech is?
That's who we are. That will not ever change. Right? We're the outcasts. We're the forgotten ones. We're the people no one wanted. That's who we are. Right? And every day we wake up, all right, we wake up with something to prove. Right? We have to go prove something. And look, we know ourselves. This is a chip on our shoulder. And I say our shoulder. Right? That's the coaches, that's the staff, that's the players. Right? And as long as I'm standing here at Georgia Tech, that'll never change with that mentality. The blue collar, the work. It doesn't matter if you win a game, win a game by 4 touchdowns or win a game by 1 touchdown with 1 second. Right? That's the ultimate goal each week, is to accomplish the mission. And the objective of every mission is to score 1 more point than they do. And that's what we look at. We look at how we improve ourselves, how we become better. And at the end of the day, the identity of this team is to play hard, is to play tough, is to be physical, regardless of the opponent. The opponent does not matter in regards to that.
It seems like Tyler Santucci's kind of settling into his defense coordinator role. I'm sure there was an adjustment period for both the players and him in terms of maybe how it works with the live bullets flying in a game. But how do you assess kind of where he's at after 7 games and what the growth you're seeing from the defense week to week?
Yeah, we evaluate the game each week, not necessarily a full season evaluation. And, we'll do previous 4 games or whatnot when we get to bye weeks. But I say this a lot to the staff. Schemes are personnel driven, right? The mark of a good coach is to be able to take the personnel that you have, right, and then implement schemes, plays, calls, implement things to be able to be successful, right? It drives me crazy when the coach, if this player was better, or this guy's not good enough. Well, no, that's our job, right? That's also the luxury of being in college. Each year we get to go out and recruit and continue to build that to fit the overall identity of the program that we want it to be, that I want it to be, right? And then, to be able to play within the schemes that we eventually want to be able to have. But week in and week out, we have to make sure that we create schemes and plays based on the personnel that we do have. And I think Tyler's done a really good job of that. You don't really know your personnel until you have a chance to work with them hands-on, right? And then even you still don't know how they're going to react to like, as you said, the live bullets. So, as we've gone through and been able to see that and get a feel for it, who the guys are, how they're going to play. And I think each week we've done a good job of progressing and improving, right? And, improvement doesn't necessarily always show up in a stat or a play. Improvements in overall, how the groups play and how are the twos developing to the point where they can play, in games. That's a benefit of playing more than 11 guys, right? before the season started, I said, I'm not worried about how that player is now that might have to play, right? I want to know how they are in October. How have they developed and how have they improved when we get to October, because that's when we're going to need them. And, that's what football is. It's when you need depth, and that's why we just made the decision to play guys early. So I think it's paying off. I think as a program, I think we're in we've shown a lot of improvement defensively. I think we've got a lot of room to go, a lot of improvement to make. And I do know this, if you ask Tyler where he thinks the defense is, right, if we wake up one day and it's ranked number 1 in something, it's still not going to be good enough. Right, there's still going to be improvement. Now, that's not saying that we're not positive with the players and showing them the improvement, because I believe you have to show players their individual improvement. You have to show improvement as an overall defense, offense, special teams. You have to show the players those things for them to have buy-in and belief. He does that, but he's a grinder. He's as old school as they come, and that's why I love having him on the staff.
Coach, obviously we've seen Notre Dame with some pretty hampering injuries with guys being out for the season. You don't want to see anybody go down, but what's the reaction and I guess the preparation now that Ben Morrison has done for the season?
Yeah, it makes nothing different with us. There's no difference with we're playing a team. I'd be willing to risk a lot to say that they're going to have 11 guys on defense when we play them. Welcome to Georgia Tech press conference.
Anything else? Kelly?
Your tight end depth, you added a lot of depth there. It's been tested now in the last few games. And just kind of where are you at in terms of getting maybe Jackson Hawes or Ryland or Josh back?
We don't have any tight ends this week. Actually, I've got an eligible number that I'm going to try to sneak in the game. Pass threat only. Down the field vertical, seam guy, middle reads. So you just throw the game plan out too, Kelly. Healthy. To say that they're going to play in the game, I don't know. Again, that's part of the 10 people or so that are game time decisions for us right now. I can say this, I wouldn't be sitting here on Thursday still saying it was a game time decision if they had not practiced during the week, though. Been out on the field during the week.
Anything else?
You come all the way from South Bend and you ask 2 questions. Come on, man.
I got more.
Let's go. Come on. Come on.
Al Golden talked a lot about what you were able to do offensively, how versatile you are. I guess what's been the improvement over the season that I know you talked about where you guys are, where you want to see where you guys are in October. What's been, I guess, the one thing that you can say stood out the most to you?
I think coming out of the bye week, we were able to focus on some things during the bye week that we needed to improve on, that we might have been doing well earlier in the season, that as the first 4 or 5 games went through, we weren't doing as well. Look, and I'm not going to sit here and say we have to run the ball to win or we have to throw the ball to win. All right, we have to be balanced in our attack and take what the defense gives us. But we're not going to trade out the fact that we want to be a physical, tough unit on offense. It starts with the quarterback, breeds down into the skill players, but those 5 guys up front, they got to be able to play as one and be physical and tough, and we got to bring it this week. Between Marcus being a really good defensive coach, Al being a really good defensive coach, we're not only playing the guys the personnel we're playing against, we're matching wits with some really good defensive coaches. As a head coach, that's exciting. Right? That's really exciting to be able to go against coaches and I don't know those guys. I'm excited to be able to talk to them a little bit. But that the challenge of the opponent and the coaching staff is something that really gets us excited. And to go against good coaching staff and good coaches, that's always a fun thing to do on Saturdays. That's what makes football special.
Riley Leonard didn't start the year off too good in terms of throwing the ball. No passing touchdowns through the first 3 matchups, but lately,
what have you done for me lately?
That's true.
What do you have, 3 last week?
Yeah, 3 last week.
Yeah.
229. What have you seen when you look at the tape? What do you see in the difference? I guess from the first 3 weeks to the last 3.
First games of the year. By the time you get to games 7, 8, 9, and 10, you can almost look at those first 3 games and look at it as a different season. I mean, there's different personnel around somebody. There's really nothing you can say from those first games other than experiences and lessons learned that carry over, because you got different personnel. People get hurt. People come back from being hurt. You've had time now with game reps with different receivers, different tight ends, running backs. They had young guys up front that are now in the mix and the swing of things that are playing like veterans. So it's really the quarterback's the one that gets the praise and the blame, but it's an overall offensive improvement that I've seen out of their offense that has allowed him to be able to have the success he is.
My last one, Notre Dame's run game, been pretty consistent since week one, I guess. Obviously, you're going to have 11 guys out there trying to stop the run.
We're going to sneak 12 in. and that know what people are doing now?
I think
Is that what Dan did? That's what Dan did.
But the run game, I mean, what did you notice there? I mean, obviously, it's been successful, and I would say you guys' run game has been successful as well. I think most people would agree. I guess, how do you counter against the Jeremiah Love, Jadari, and whoever else they decide to bring in the backfield?
Yeah, I mean, they're good. Well, they're good running backs. I mean, they play together up front. I think the improvement up front on their O-line each week is, I think, what's been the most impressive thing about them. I mean, each week they're getting better and better. Running backs are good players, but when you get the +1 run and you're running the quarterback, and the way they run him, not just situationally, but in the open field at times, in design quarterback runs, that's hard. It's hard to defend, and they do some unique things that look conventional from kind of to the average person. And you look in there and you start studying, and you're like, wow, there's some good schematic things going on, and how they're scheming to get Riley in the field running the football. I think he's averaging 65, 68 yards a game rushing, 68 yards a game rushing. So it's going to be a challenge. And look, you can't sit there and just say we're going to commit everything to the run, because, I mean, the guy, he can throw the football. And they got good receivers on the outside. So, we got to be balanced in what we do defensively, read our keys, and play disciplined football.
Last one for real this time.
I told you came down, man. You're at open floor.
Get the company's money worth here. Have you seen, or do you think you've faced or seen a team similar to what you're going to see against Notre Dame this weekend?
Trying to think, we hadn't had anybody else that wore gold helmets and blue jerseys. So, have we? No, so they're probably the most unique. All right, is that it? I appreciate you guys. All right, welcome to Atlanta. Appreciate it. All right, go Jackets.